After it was discovered that the roof at the Karl Heusner Memorial Hospital was failing, it was announced that works would commence on June 11, 2018. An assessment of K.H.M.H's infrastructure by local and international engineers revealed that further repairs were necessary, prompting the K.H.M.H to raise $1.6 million in order to restore the structural integrity of the hospital. This caused the hospital to suspend its elective services and go into emergency mode. Today, everything seemed normal at the K.H.M.H as full services have been restored. News 5, along with other media houses, were showing the infrastructural improvements done over the past few months.
We started by doing renovations for main operating theater because there were some structural issues in terms of the tiles on the floor, the gas lines, our surgical facilities, no? And so during the time we were doing the renovations for the operating theater, we ended up with the fault, with the structural damage to the main beams of our facility. And so it was like a simultaneous activity going on. We were working on improving and renovating our operating room, basically to improve the standard and the quality of services in there. And at the same time, we had to respond to the structural damage.
At the time it was discovered that the K.H.M.H was experiencing structural failures, reinforcement pillars were temporarily installed. An engineering team from Mexico was brought in to inspect the damages and offer a permanent solution. K.H.M.H reduced services by 50%, dealing only with deliveries, cesarean sections, and life-threatening emergencies.
There was total disorganization and reorganization of services, our operating theater. What you saw just now was completely transferred over to another area of the hospital, our labor and delivery area. And so in that area, we had 2 operating suites that we had to be using, and for that reason, we had to reduce our services, surgical services, to emergencies and urgent cases only. So since last week, we are able now, we're practically back to 5 suites operational until we start the renovation on the other side, which is the 2 suites. It was challenging for the staff. They were able to respond to all the changes that we had to make. We had to work amidst the construction. There were some barricades throughout the entire hospital, you know, restricted access in certain areas. Staff had to access the hospital through other, different corridors. So it was challenging. Through it all, we tried to maintain optimal service given the challenges. And so here we are now with the entire area repaired within record time and our services restored completely.
The K.H.M.H has committed to address these sort of issues in a professional and systematic way to guarantee the best possible outcomes with minimum disruption to essential services that the hospital provides.
The hospital has been here 23 years. I mean, from the start of construction, maybe 26. And so there are other assessments that we plan to put in place in terms of ensuring that moving forward, there are key areas that we will go in and do in-depth assessment.
Joining the media in the walkthrough was Health Minister Pablo Marin, who encouraged Belizeans to pay whatever they owe to the K.H.M.H so that the hospital can be in tip-top shape.
I'm so happy because it was a long time that the nurses, the doctors, everybody was asking for us to repair it. And like how you heard right now from the CEO, it cost them 1.6 million. This is only telling the public, once you use the facility, pay what you use, pay your bills. And if you look at the finance or the bills that or what it costs for you to do a surgery, for you to do delivery, is cheaper than the private sector. So why don't you invest in what is cheaper, and the amount and the work that they are doing is in top service that we can have.
Reporting for News 5, Hipolito, Novelo.